lineup. So many good wrestlers up and down. Our lineups, as always, are brought to you by Defend Soap. Defend what you have built. And
I like him.
125 pounds is where this meet starts here tonight.
And almost got a huge upset. They're really solid at 125. Of course, McCrone's in there. He's hurt right now. So, next man up for Ohio State. And we know Jory Volk, the All-American, transfer from Wyoming back to his home state of Minnesota.
And we are underway from Baturi Pavilion here tonight from Minneapolis. A treat to have you with us on the Big Ten Network for a triple header. What is going to be outstanding wrestling continuing here tonight. Just keep it turned right into the Big Ten Network. Jory Volk, a Big 12 champion in 2024. Seventh place finish at the NCAA championships. He's a three-time Minnesota State champion from Lakeville North High School. Staying to wrestle home here in Minneapolis.
Work through those ties. Wrestle through that.
Volk likes to put a lot of pressure on you, and he has been on a roll lately. Been on the podium, like you said, last year.
Kilkeary's got a great room at 125 to wrestle with. He's been wrestling with some of these guys, some of the top wrestlers in the country. He's 1-0 in dual meets so far this season. Get it to go here today. Coming off a 7th place finish at the Midlands. He won the Kent State Open, won the Michigan State Open. He himself is a 3-time Pennsylvania State champion.
Keep it clean up top. Here we go.
He's in Kilkeary.
Yep, Kilkeary could be starting for several other teams in the Big Ten. He's that good.
Work the score.
Right now he's trying to keep Volk at bay, give himself a chance to get the underhooks. Kilkeary likes to get those underhooks. Volk likes to get a good head pinch in there, and a lot of pressure, and then a little knee pick. Drop his level, doubles, snaps. He's the whole package, Jory Volk.
Again, it was a 29-6 victory for Ohio State over Minnesota in the national duels. That was back on November 15th. And Bouzakis got the victory here at 125 pounds. It was a
in overtime.
1-8-5. It went to sudden victory, the first sudden victory. The takedown won it for Bouzakis. So Volk is trying to kind of flip that around here at 125 to get it started for Minnesota.
Offense, fellas. Offense.
Real important for Jory Volk to get his offense going at home. Brandon Eggum liked it early. He was scoring a lot of points. He has not scored as many points lately against the top wrestlers, and so a little slow starter, digging that underhook in there.
30 seconds in the period.
Trying to move Kilkeary, so that he has a look in as an angle.
Down on his knees. There's Kilkeary.
Doing a nice job of controlling Volk's elbows, not letting him get that run around. Short time. Nice job. Yeah, nice job by Kilkeary to drive in as Volk was coming around.
Both wrestlers continue on their feet, so we end the first period with no score.
Top arm, neutral to fur. Gonna go down.
Our first look of Tom Ryan in his 20th season as Ohio State's head coach. Great winning record there with the Buckeyes. Of course, the national championship under his belt over there with Ohio State, and he is really fired up for the team he has this year. He says the deepest team he has, top to bottom. He's just so complimentary of what his guys have put in.
Yeah, Tom Ryan's a next-level coach. He's coached a 4-time NCAA champion, world champion Logan Stieber, world champion, Olympic champion Kyle Snyder, 2-time champion, #1 ranked Mendez. Year in, year out, Ohio State puts a solid product out on the map, but this year looks really special. 1 point for Volk, that quick escape. Quick escape's really important in these matches.
They go back to the middle. Were you surprised, Tim, when he told us that I think this is the best team I have, including 2015? I mean, the depth that I have, I'm so excited to coach these guys. Did that surprise you at all?
Well, I understand it when you look at all 10, when you think that they have legitimate chance to be on the podium. If all 10 of their wrestlers wrestle to their ability, they'll be All-Americans, and there's only been 2 teams in the history of the sport that's ever had 10 All-Americans, and that's Minnesota and last year's Penn State.
So the escape, the difference here so far. Volk was able to get up and out in just 5 seconds here in the second. Both wrestlers are looking for their first takedown. Volk gets him down to his knees. He's done this twice now.
Let's work through that. Pressure through that position.
Trying to slide around here and trying to get the first takedown of the match.
30 seconds.
Kilkeary doing a nice job of not allowing the elbows to be free, but he's going to get hit for stalling if he goes back to his knees and just hangs on those elbows again. Got to get his own offense going. A lot of pressure coming from Volk. That's when you know that he's wrestling his match, but he's not been able to get past the defense of Kilkeary to get in on the legs.
Coach Agam told us too, he said when Volk shoots, when we see him go, I've showed him film saying you're close to 100%. It's just getting it set up right, getting in that mindset of go, 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 and get to the offense. Neither wrestler with a takedown through the first 2 periods. From Minneapolis, here's a look at head coach for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, Coach Agam, in his 10th season.
Yeah, not only his 10th season as head coach, but he's been involved since the late 90s as a top-notch athlete, a finalist, several-time All-American, and then the longtime assistant coach to Jay Robinson. So when you look at the success of Minnesota, 3 national titles, 5 Big Ten titles, the common denominator is Brandon Agam.
Kilkeary is trying to get up and out to even up this match at 1 apiece.
Really nice start by Jory Volk there, putting the pressure, knocking Kilkeary down off his base, getting that figure 4 above the knee. Nice job by Kilkeary. Got to keep moving. I like that rolls. He's creating. Nice job. He changed it up. He started to stand up. He didn't get it done. Then he put it into a roll. I like that variety. And he made it work, and he got out.
Wrestle in that position. Work through that. Good job.
All right, 1-1. We're all tied up here in the third. Kilkeary's trying to come up with a bit of an upset here at 125. Thrusted into this lineup with a second-ranked wrestler, Nick Bizakis, not in the lineup for Ohio State at 125. And Kilkeary's in that room working with some of the top wrestlers of the country each week, wrestling like it through the first 5 minutes.
It's not easy to get out from Volk, and Kilkeary did a nice job. I like the urgency.
Wrestle on the edge.
30 seconds in the period.
Great.
Now, it's not going to get a point, but I think if Volk would step forward, make a shot. There's Nick Bizakis, a little sick during the week, and doesn't look like he feels too good either. And so, but Kilkeary stepping in, but Volk. I feel like if he would have stepped in and put more pressure on right away off that whistle, he might have got a stall call, which would have only been a warning, but now they're going to go to sudden victory. This is a point where, the guy that understands it's not panic time. It's not panic time. If I need to go 13 minutes, I need to go to the tiebreakers, I go. But usually one wrestler does a little bit of panicking, gets out, and that's where you take advantage. Be ready if your opponent takes a bit of a bad shot.
Our first sudden victory of today's match. The first to score is the winner in this first sudden victory. Both wrestlers are looking for the first takedown.
I like the fake by Kilkeary. Kilkeary right in this. He hasn't been able to get in on a shot really, but again, you don't want to take one that extends you. Volk will snap and run around just like that.
Volk here.
Double unders. Good pressure. Nice job. Continues the shots there. He's not getting it. Kilkeary's not having an answer for it. There he goes right in, and now this is where Volk can make it work. All the way around. Nice job. Kilkeary and
No control.
who keeps the hips down. Kilkeary with the big three and the win. It doesn't matter what just happened. Big upset for the Ohio State Buckeye.
Wow, you can see Nick Bozakis is fired up. His teammate thrust into the starting lineup. And Vincent Kilkeary had the takedown. They are going to the monitor to look at this and see as it sits right now. The young freshman is going to have himself a big-time upset at 125 pounds.
Right here, goes into that body lock. Look where the hips. He kept them tight. Then he steps in, keeps his hip tight, and crunches him for the three. I can't imagine that getting turned over, but
because as soon as that three happens, the match is over.
And they're saying, you know, did he establish the three? Well, it certainly looked like he established the three, and then Vogt did a nice job of continuing on and would have got a reversal in a regular match.
There's Tom Ryan fired up over there too for his wrestler.
I don't think he's surprised. Kilkeary has been a gamer every time he's stepped in. He's probably, you know, saying, man, I got to get this done in the room, you know. And but certainly stepped in there big time and out on the road. It's tough to do.
So Nick Grosso is our mat referee, and he is the one looking at it right now to determine in this sudden victory here, did Kilkeary have the takedown or not? Going to the monitor. Boy, we got it all in the first match. 125, we go to overtime, we're going to a replay. So it comes down to the end here. Who's got control and when do they have it?
You know, I always like the reward, you know, the guy that gets after it. They were both getting after it, but that was a great effort. Here we go. Great effort by Kilkeary. Steps in. Now, watch him crunch. 3 points. I mean, I just love to reward the aggressor there. And we'll see what...
That's upheld.
Yep.
3 green.
It is upheld, so a big-time victory to get it started for Ohio State. Welcome to the scene, Vincent Kilkeary with a top 10 victory in the first match here tonight.
Great effort by both wrestlers. That was a great...
Right now, Chris Cannon will get the go, the senior 3-6 on the season right now. Davino, the number 2 wrestler in the country as the rankings stack up right now. Great start to the season. Undefeated so far.
We're so excited. Last year he was redshirting Davino, and he stepped in, and he's special. And they're in on the leg against the veteran Cannon. Cannon, Northwestern, then Michigan, now Minnesota.
Davino, one of the top recruits in the country, a 4-time Illinois State champion at St. Charles East High School. Went 19-1 last year, wrestling unattached, and has not lost so far this season. Looking to keep that rolling.
He brings it hard every time. I mean, the feet action, the hand action, good hand fights, nice dart singles, but he has a tank on him, and he goes the whole time. Great pace.
Earlier this season, these two did match up, and it was a win for Davino in Tech Fall, 21-5. It took him 7 minutes. So right at the end of the second period to complete the Tech Fall. He's got 11 of those on the season. Boy, Davino, he's in on the legs here, trying to get his first takedown. He does, and he's a scoring machine.
Yeah, my heart goes out to Cannon. He's such a competitor. He's dealt with injuries, and you know, he'd like to think that I can, you know, make it work again. 7th-year guy, and but that shoulder pops out, and so he's basically out here not only to compete to win, but to see if I can get through a match and feel good afterwards.
Shoulder so difficult to deal with throughout those matches. Just never know. 2-time All-American. Chris Cannon is up and out of there.
Neutral.
1 point on the escape.
Yeah, Cannon's a fighter. There, nice job by Davino. Good job of coming up. Fended off by Cannon.
Davino started the year 4-0 at the national duels with this win over Chris Cannon, and he turned that into Big Ten Freshman of the Week. He was named, and here he takes him down with the ankle pick.
Had that underhook on his right side, dropped down with his left arm.
One red
Little ankle pick there. Motor's just starting to go right now.
1 minute.
You notice that Cannon's got his arms back because Davino likes to work off that 2-on-1, and Cannon knows that he's got to go from space against Davino. There's the underhook. Davino.
No control. Easy.
Here's coaching staff.
And looking to slip that elbow out. And he's gonna.
Cannon trying to hold this on here.
Nothing yet.
Just needs to slip that arm to get his third takedown.
3 green.
Yeah, that's 3. And now, if he can get that cow catcher right there,
Turns it.
He's buried.
Davino has got the fall in the first period. His first of the season. Comes away with bonus points here at 133 pounds for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Worked really, really hard here, and once he got to the point where he could change the angle of that arm there, drives, gets the chin, drives the half over, buries Cannon for the fall.
Oh, it starts with Ohio State. We said they had the young guns there to get it started, and they do their job. A big win for Kilkeary as well as Davino pulls a whole bunch of bonus points. Vance Vombar is in the top 10 of the country in his senior campaign. Couple of upperclassmen going at it here. Mendez leads the series 2-0 against Vombar all time. Most recently in that national duels, it was a major decision for Mendez, 14-5. That was back 2 months ago. 3-time All-American Jesse Mendez, 2-time NCAA champion in both 2024 and 2025.
I'll tell you, Mendez just gets better and better and better, and there he is on a hard takedown there.
Easy.
Got
Keep
the
it clean.
arm bar.
Keep it
Looking
legal.
to separate himself from everyone else at the weight
Keep
class.
it legal, you're good.
He's done it everywhere he's been. 4-time Indiana State champion at Crown Point High School there in Indiana. Up and out is Mendez, is Vombar rather, the 2-time Colorado State champion at Windsor High School. It was an 8th place finish at the NCAA championships last year for Vance Vombar. He was runner-up at the Big Ten championships a season ago in Evanston. This is one of your Vombar, too. Not only you're trying to keep this closer than where it was last time. Mendez got bonus points here, 141 pounds in the national duels with a major decision. Vombar trying to keep this one a little bit closer than it was last time. A 9-point victory for Mendez.
Again, look at, he's driving in another 3 points. Just relentless. Jesse Mendez, middle name is relentless. There, got locking up a cradle. Nice job by Vombar, recognizing it, slipping out that head.
Down facing me. Gonna go.
I know Tom Ryan said, you know, one of the challenges that people have with Jesse Mendez is how long he is. You look at those long arms, long legs. He's quick to the legs, and he's got that ability right now with those long arms to get in there and get in tight on the legs. Makes it difficult for opponents. So far with 2 early takedowns in the first.
Look, a snap in the head, works the head, then drops his level, penetrates, drives through. We're talking about Jesse Mendez going to work.
Quickly out to a 7-point lead here. He's got 5 tech falls into 12 wins this year for Jesse Mendez.
Still you. Okay.
He also has 2 major decisions, so 7 of those 12 have been either tech falls or majors.
Wait for me, Green. I'll call you on. Wait.
And when you throw in the pins, too, that's 10 of the 12 matches that Jesse Mendez has won this year have come with bonus points attached. He's trying to make it back-to-back bonus point victories here for Ohio State.
Knows right where he is, looks to right, out to end the period. Dominating first period for Jesse Mendez.
Top on, neutral to first.
Pair of the takedowns.
Yep, little fake, drive through. Come around, cover the hips. This last one, he's snapping on the head and lowers his level, drives through. That's about the feet. That's driving through, covering the hips. Smothering on top.
This is the 60th meeting all time between Minnesota and Ohio State, the second meeting this season. A series that has been led by Minnesota. They have 36 wins. On the other side, Ohio State with 20 wins, 2 ties in this series. There's another Mendez takedown. Here's upon us.
1 red neutral.
But as Minnesota leads the series, for the most part, it's been the Buckeyes. They've won 6 of the last 7 meetings.
What Tom Ryan has done in the last 15 years, you know, there's only been 12 teams that have won the NCAA championship in all of history. Minnesota's done it 3 times. Ohio State's the 12th one to have done it.
Action on the edge.
That's a lot in over 100 years of the sport. And here again, driving through, covering the hips, another 3 on the edge.
1. Center.
Using the edge of the mat there is Mendez, and he's putting on a clinic up 9. Here with still 48 seconds to go in the second.
He's going to give you the optional start. Go ahead.
Mendez with the optional start to let Bombar up here in the second.
You know, you think about, you know, if guys won the national title, what kind of pressure is this on them? Well, I guarantee you, Mendez going for his 3rd this year, he knows that he's the pressure. There's no pressure on him. He's the pressure on others. That's just the way he gets out and dictates the pace, the pressure. And according to Coach Ryan, it's been that way since he first walked into the room.
Nothing yet.
Had the example of Sammy Sasso. And now, again, 3 more points. That's not quite a
1, 2,
technical
3.
fall.
Green, your choice. Where are you going to go?
I mean, look at how clean Mendez is with these takedowns.
Yeah, nice job of down blocking, then just going around, covering the hips and getting the 3 points. 1 more and it's over.
13-point lead. If it gets to 15, it would be the first tech fall of today's matchup between Ohio State and Minnesota.
And we're talking, and excuse me, Jack, but we're talking Vance Bombar's very good, 2-time All-American, and he's a great competitor, and he's gonna be there. But right now, the tide is all flowing in for Mendez. I mean, you see the competitiveness of Mendez. He's just the ultra competitor, the energy. He loves the lights.
And here he's looking, and he's got it. Mendez has the tech fall in the 3rd period. 21-5 winner. That is his 6th tech fall of the year and his 4th top 10 victory already. Here's how he got that final
little
one.
down block and then The underhook driving through, already had the low ankle, just drove through. Really nice job by Jesse Mendez.
Two-time NCAA champion comes here to Minneapolis, workmanlike, and gets the job done. 149 is where we go next. Ethan Stiles is in the top 10 in the country, in the top 5. The sophomore's 10-3 right now with a lot of bonus points. Drew Roberts on the other side is wrestling well for this Minnesota group. Going to get a called task as he walks out the doors with smoke and fire. The Torrey Pavilion in Minneapolis. Got a guy on one side, Ethan Stiles, who's a All-American at Oregon State last year. 6th place finish at the NCAA championships. He was a runner-up at the Pac-12 championships last year.
Yeah, really good pickup by Tom Ryan in Ohio State, along with Fishback at 184 after Rocco Welsh transferred to Penn State. And they like their portal pickups. This will be in the first one. Ethan Stiles, ranked number 4.
Yeah, Ohio State has hit on these guys. They've gone into the portal. I mean, it's one thing to get guys who have resumes, a guy like Ethan Stiles, but it's another thing for them to produce. Now, Stiles has been to the Big Ten. He started at Nebraska before going to Oregon State. Wanted the opportunity to get back home, a little bit closer to Chicago, Illinois, where he's from.
What's really the story, though, for Ohio State is they filled a couple of weights there with the portal, but Tom Ryan's team is homegrown. This it's not often, and their Stiles gets in and gets a quick finish for a takedown.
2, we're up.
Minnesota still looking for their first takedown of this duel. It's been all Ohio State to get it going.
2, 3,
first 4 matches.
we're up.
Standing there behind is Logan Stieber, 4-time NCAA titleist, world champion, and has a lot to do with the success of the lighter weights here. And, but what I was talking about, it's not often that you get a top recruiting class, and 4 years later, that recruiting class is the one that's making it happen. The 22 recruiting class for Ohio State was top ranked, and every one of those guys are in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, it goes to show you how much they love wrestling at Ohio State for Tom Ryan.
And I said everyone's in the lineup. Bazakas is not in the lineup, but he's in the lineup. He's just sick right now. But you look at these guys, and they have really panned out. Some great recruiting minds there on the staff of Ohio State.
One minute remaining period.
That recruiting class was Feldman, Mendez, Bazakas, Shumate, who we're going to see.
Now, when these two matched up back in November, Minnesota and Ohio State, Drew Roberts was not in this starting lineup. He did not wrestle at 149 pounds, so it is his first time going against Stiles. Drew Roberts himself, a 3-time Idaho State champion at Coeur d'Alene High School. 9th place finish last year at the Big Ten Championships, got him to the NCAA tournament, trying to turn it into potentially here in his final season, opportunity to be an All-American.
Good.
Yeah, and Drew has had a nice year so far. I mean, he's improved in many ways. He's finished off some victories. Right now, he's in a tough place right now. Ethan Stiles with the early takedown and the ride. You can't draw up a better start for Stiles. Here's how he started. He came in and really executed nice right here. He had just a little outside step into the low single, then the cutoff with his left arm, drives through the hips and gets the takedown.
That was interesting, too, when you look, because he faked for the right leg and went over to the left because Coach Ryan said, listen, he's a great wrestler, Ethan Stiles. We just got to work on his ability to set up shots. A little fake here, a little fake there. That's what we've been working on, and you can see it going to fruition out here on the mat. Yeah,
that was good misdirection there. And right now he's showing that he has what it takes to score on his feet. But, boy, is he tough on top. He's got that figure 4 above the knee. Pretty tough for Drew Roberts right now. kind of looking for a fresh start for Drew Roberts and can have some urgency underneath and work to get out.
Let's work to score. 1.
Ethan Stiles in this top spot here. 5-0 lead right now for Ethan Stiles in the second period. Just 1 minute left to go in this second period between these two. Already 2 minutes and 40 seconds of riding time, and there is the first warning coming against Drew Roberts for stalling. 35 seconds remaining in this second period. 5-0. Ohio State's Ethan Stiles leading Minnesota's Drew Roberts.
Stiles looking to score there, but if you're going to do it, you're going to really have to elevate that leg back there. Nice job by Drew getting his leg out momentarily. But Stiles...
Show me something else.
Yeah, right now the official just said, show me something else, because he's not able to elevate that leg back there to be able to turn the hips and have the shoulders follow. So right now he's parallel and basically making it impossible for Drew Roberts to come out. But to the official, he's not so sure he's trying to really turn him.
So we jump to the third period. It's 5-0. Ethan Stiles leading Drew Roberts, but he's got 3 minutes and 31 seconds of riding time. So already secured the riding time, and Stiles essentially has a 6-0 lead. A takedown away from a major here. Stiles with the counter. Both wrestlers back to their feet.
I like Roberts' activity. Now he's just got to, get a little more urgency right now and make that work. Nice job on that re-attack, driving through with that single leg. Good defense by Stiles. Just not quite fast enough on the finish by Roberts. If he could have cut across, hit those hips a little harder, he would have had Stiles flat on his butt for a three-point takedown. It was really nice execution, just not a finish, not fast enough finish for Roberts there, and now stalemate or potentially dangerous.
Had that leg turning.
Yeah, I liked Drew Roberts right there in that re-attack right here, driving through, using his head, but he just didn't drive through with the shoulders and, pin down those hips.
1 minute remaining here in the third. Stiles has already locked up riding time, so essentially right now a 6-0 lead. He's trying to make it another bonus point victory for Ohio State, who has started very strong here from Minneapolis.
What I liked about that effort, that takes so much out of you when you get ridden like that, like Roberts was ridden by Stiles. Came out, worked to score, got a really nice shot, and just showed you what kind of heart, and he's got the tank on him. If he doesn't get it done here, he's going to learn some things from here, Roberts is, because well executed match by Stiles, but Roberts stayed in the game, but just couldn't get that finish, and that would have changed things in this match.
In on the leg, Stiles with short time, trying to get the major decision. If he can finish it, Roberts holds on and keeps it to just a decision.
Yeah, I like Stiles trying to go for it, but I like what Roberts did, understanding that he saved the team a team point.
So Ethan Stiles continues to keep it rolling for Ohio State. His fourth ranked victory of the year, now 4-3 in those type of battles. Lard is in the top 25 of the country as well. The freshman on one side and the redshirt sophomore on the other. Man, Ballard, Canada's just been wrestling so well. 13-1 of the year, and that got him his #1 ranking.
Yeah, we saw how special he was a few years ago as he had some what then we thought were upset wins. And look at that, how he gets in so fast on the leg and is really comfortable in a crab ride, gets the 3 points right there. He's a special wrestler. And for those that know the story, I mean, he wrestles like someone who almost lost his life in wrestling, which he did.
Yeah, he is a guy who had a tumor on his spine when he was a young guy. Didn't wrestle for 2 years. Didn't know if he was ever going to get back out on the mat again. And it's such a cool story to see him back out here. He got treatment at the Children's Hospital in Columbus, and that kind of made him a Buckeye fan. His mom was a national champion fencer for Ohio State, so why not? And Cannon got the clean bill of health, got back out there, was able to wrestle a two-time Colorado State champion there in Denver, and wanted to be a Buckeye. Tom Ryan said, why not? And it has been a great match right now with Ohio State and Brandon Cannon, because he has elevated his wrestling to the #1 ranked wrestler. It's so good when you see guys like Cannington who have gone through so much and find the success and get back to the normalcy that they desire.
Yeah, he was the #1 ranked. Whoa. Not only did you see that, I mean, that was so fast and so quick. He gets in on a low single, but his cut across to the, and it's just like he lassoed the other leg and gets the 3 points really fast, quick finishes.
One red, neutral or neutral.
Yeah, it has been a dominating performance by Ohio State so far. 17-0, they lead it in the team category, and it shows in a lot of the stats here early on. 14-0, Minnesota's still looking for their first takedown, and here Millard is in on the legs, and the timely takedown.
I think Millard heard the commentary and said, hey, it's going to stop with me right here. Charlie Millard is one tough competitor, almost upsetting the national champion Antrell Taylor last week. He was ahead right till the final seconds. Antrell Taylor comes around and pins Millard with no time remaining. Really turned the meet around for Nebraska beating Minnesota. And so Charlie says, hey, I don't like being in that position. Big takedown, 6'5", and look at the pressure he's putting on Cannon right now.
Millard just climbing up these rankings from the showings he's put on in Big Ten duels the last couple of weeks. There's the escape.
Yeah,
he got in a tough hold against Taylor, and you know, he got on his back with 2 seconds left to go in the match. He was pinned, and you said he's going to learn a lot from this as they go out of bounds. What specifically can he learn?
You okay?
Right now I'm looking, I saw a grimace on Cannon when he got taken down. And
he's a limp to him as he makes his way to the center of the match.
Something happened when he got taken down, so you know, you hope it was just a pop. But
Red, your choice. Red's going
watch this drop down to the ankle and lasso inside. That's really good. He covered with his hips. That's really
bottom man set, cover.
Nice job. Now into an outside single, covering just to the other side. Millard, tit for tat.
And Cannon did kind of reach for that left leg where he has the brace on that left knee. He was limping a little bit at the end of the first period. We'll keep an eye on it here in the second in a 7-5 match between these two. Millard is up and out. Millard is 1-3 in ranked matchups this season. His lone win came against Cannon Webster of Illinois, and he almost had Antrell Taylor, like we've been talking about.
Yeah, the match against Webster, I was there, I was watching it. He had a nice takedown, and so he was up 3-1. He was in on another takedown, looking like he was going to go ahead, but they hit heads, and Webster was concussed, and he's been out since. I think he was expected back this weekend, so that's good news for Illinois. But when Millard can keep it close going into the last period, you know, he's got the shape, he's got a pace, and he puts the pressure on you. So he's feeling pretty excited right here about being in the situation he is, especially when he was behind 6-1. There's another shot to the outside, fended off, brought up. Nice job, underhook by Cannon. Cannon's wrestling right now on some guts and grit.
Brandon Cannon's going to have a big week, too, because on Sunday it's Nebraska, and that means Antrell Taylor. It would be #1 versus #5 on Sunday.
Antrell Taylor had a couple of hiccups early in the season, but when you have a target on your back, it's a little bit of adjustment, but I don't have any doubts that Antrell Taylor will be in top form soon. There's a shot with a nice job of blocking down by Millard. Short time.
we go to the third period, it is a one-point match. Last time these two wrestlers matched up 2 months ago, it was an 18-8 major decision for Cannon. And here Millard is closing the door, making it a close match to the third.
Go ahead, cover, you're on.
That's a good phrase there, Zach, because I think Millard feels like he's starting to close the gap on the best wrestlers. He's feeling it. He knows he's good. He's starting to prove it. Oh, that low ankle shot. I mean, how low can you go?
Control.
That was awesome by Cannon right there. Really nice execution.
Easy.
Made it look easy.
Cannon breaks him back down to the mat.
He's got the cradle locked up, but a nice job by Millard getting out of it, stiffening up.
2. Easy.
Crossbody looking for the old guillotine.
Easy.
Final minute here at 157 pounds.
You hear the Ohio State fans saying, take your time, make sure you have it tight. I mean, he's got a 5-point lead right now. And pretty much has Millard in big trouble. Elevating the leg. Has not been a stall call yet, so Cannon playing with house money right now.
Coach Agam wanted a stall call. But both those arms spread out here. Cannon's been able to ride for over a minute in this third period.
Really impressive after Millard's charge on the way that Cannon came back, executed that last takedown, and rode out the entire last minute plus.
An impressive week for Charlie Millard nonetheless, but Brandon Cannon, he's the winner. 12-6. A 6-point victory here for Brandon Cannon, and the #1 ranked wrestler in the country comes in and does his job with his 4th ranked win of this season.
Look at this shot here. He goes so low.
With Patty Gallagher, 10-4 on the year right now for Ohio State, and underway again from Minneapolis.
Two wrestlers that are very good at the sport. Been around a long time, and this is their last hurrah, and only 2 months left in the season. Sparks gets an opportunity to be a spark for the team right now, to not only get early takedowns, but to get the Gophers on the board, down 20-0.
It was Sparks who is 2-0 all-time against Gallagher. He won their last meeting back in November, 3-2. That was in sudden victory. Came down to the end. These two, every time they've wrestled, it's been close. We anticipate the same today from a couple of guys that have NCAA championship experience. Sparks has been there 4 times, trying to get on the podium here this season, while Patty Gallagher has been a 2-time NCAA qualifier in both 2023 and 2025.
Patty Gallagher came out of high school, long time, everybody knew about him. See that shamrock there? He's a proud St. Ed's. There's a nice shot in by Sparks, but the shin whizzer trying to fend up, but nice job by Sparks. That's what he needs to do. Come to his feet. Nice roll through, and good momentum by Gallagher there. Going to pick a side, try to windmill his left arm over the hips of Sparks. If he can slip out that ankle, but it looks like it's going to be. So that shamrock there, he's in on the single leg. And immediately Patty Gallagher gets that shin whizzer in there. Finish my thought. St. Ed's out of Cleveland area. What a tradition. What a great program. Patty Gallagher coming out of that high school powerhouse.
Where he was a 2-time high school state champion there in the state of Ohio.
Then you look at Sparks, who didn't start wrestling until high school. in California and
Good
ended
action.
up
Keep
winning a
looking to
state
score.
title out in California, which is not an easy thing to do. In all 700 high schools that have wrestling, wrestle in one class.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That is a product of Calvary Chapel High School. Andrew Sparks. This is a weight class that Tom Ryan told us we're not settled yet. We're still trying to find our way through here at 165. We want the guys to know that, you know, they're fighting for something. There's something every time you go out there being evaluated. Because, yeah, we want to win now, but we're looking for a style that will win at the NCAA championships in March. We're still trying to figure out exactly what direction they'll go at 165.
You know, every coach is different, but I really appreciate the openness by Tom. I mean, for the viewers, oh, okay. So he's stepping out there. He's got, it's not like a wrestle-off, but how are they going to compete in these next few weeks? And so he's sharing with us a little inside there that this is one way that they're going to choose at 165, not necessarily a wrestle-off, but how they compete when they get to go on the mat. So each one will have the opportunity this weekend.
One, we're up.
Burton,
Talked about
Ethan Burton.
that just gave so much trust to the guys on the team. You know, Tom Ryan was a great wrestler in his day, obviously at the University of Iowa, and he said, I want to be straight up. I want to tell them where we sit, because as soon as they start to think, you know, hey, what's happening here, what's happening there, then that's when you can lose the locker room or something. He's always open with these guys, and we appreciate his openness with us.
Ethan Burton won the Midlands, and that's the other 165-pounder that's in the hunt now because he won the Midlands. He went and competed, and opened the eyes of the coaches enough to say, hey, he deserves a shot. So he'll be going Sunday when they wrestle Nebraska. Nice little road trip at Minnesota, at Nebraska.
Yeah, it doesn't come easy in the Big Ten, boy.
It's the Big Ten, Iran, and Russia. Those are the three best countries in wrestling. The Big Ten, Iran, and Russia. I think Tom Ryan actually said that one time.
We've got a top 10 battle in the Big Ten right now between Ohio State and Minnesota. Ohio State, the number 2 team in the country. Minnesota, the number 7 team in the country. Last time these two teams wrestled, it was a 29-6 team victory for Ohio State over Minnesota. But they've had plenty of bonus points in those first 5 matches. They've already got 20 team points. Minnesota is favored to their first match. They're now trying to get something going on the team side.
A lot to be said by both these wrestlers. Like I said, 6-7 years. It's a long time to be in the sport. Many quit before the end of that. These guys are, just battling, trying to be the best version of themselves in this last opportunity. And they've overcome a lot of injuries. Both of them have had their share of injuries and obviously disappointments when you can't get on the mat. Here they are, healthy right now, with the opportunity to accomplish a lifelong dream of getting on the podium. Really nice quick out by Sparks, and so all evened up.
Action in the middle.
This weight class dominated by folks in the Big Ten, 5 in the top 10 at 165 pounds, of course, led by Bishop Bressenbrand. And here's Sparks going in and getting his first takedown.
Just great execution by Sparks, because he found the angle, he liked the look, he drove through, and then used, it'll be really neat for you to see it again, because he used his whole body to finish that takedown.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop.
So in on this shot, okay, on a reshot and drive through. You see how he used his head there to drive through as an additional arm. That head and shoulder was used like an appendage, just like an arm, drove through and got the 3 points. It's more about Bill Zadig once said, wrestling's a whole lot more about physics than it is horsepower. Bill Zadig, world champion and the coach of the USA Freestyle, one of the most respected, not only coaches, but technicians and leaders in our sport. More about physics than it is about horsepower.
In the center.
Again, this match went to sudden victory. It was a 3-2 winner for Sparks last time. Sparks is trying to stay undefeated against Gallagher in his career.
It's a little too late. And Sparks is going to be able to hold off Paddy Gallagher after a tremendous executed takedown late in the third period.
Andrew Sparks with a round of applause, and he gets Minnesota on the board. Coming out of the intermission with a decision, staying undefeated against
Wrestling.com. Keep CBUWrestling.com if you're interested in how you can help support and try to get that program back in play at Cal Baptist.
3 green.
Derek Moore, the coach out there, has done a great job and deserves the support of the wrestling community. Nice, easy takedown by Kharchla. Another guy that's really overcome adversity. A lot of injuries, and here he is. Been through it, man. He has been through it. Tremendous technician, great power.
He's as strong as he's ever been. Coach Tom Ryan tells us. Battled with leg injuries throughout his career for Ohio State. Dad running a wrestling academy, and Coach Tom Ryan said, that is why he is one of the best technical wrestlers in the country. He just has the science down, and here he's on the leg.
Dad Murin was a legend in Russia. I mean, he beat some top people when he was competing for Russia, and then brought his family to America and had that wrestling club there near Cleveland.
Green, you're in control.
Kharchla with another takedown. He's got 2 of them. He's a 2-time Ohio State champion. Ethan Riddle, a 2-time Wisconsin State champion at Germantown High School.
1 red neutral.
Kharchla always in good position. Just keeps great position.
Up top.
Kharchla won the lone other meeting back in November 19-4. It was a tech fall that came at the end of the second period.
1 minute period.
I'm sorry, at the end of the third period, that was. Right at the end of the match.
Kharchla, a little drag there, pulls, chases to the left-hand side there. Comes in on the single. Now he's going to drive through, try to catch. Well, he's trying through the hips there. Nice job, nice finish. Pulled, chased to the left, got on the single leg, drove through the hips. Really well executed by Carson Kharchla.
Kharchla, All-American in 2022. Had a 4th place finish at the Big Ten Championships last year. Looking to get on the podium here yet again this season. Got a number of 4 in the country right now.
Second takedown here as he got in on that single. Now runs the pipe right there. Really nice job. That was all done with lowering your level and moving with your feet. And then he drove through on the hips for the 3rd takedown of the first period. That's really nice dump action there. There's an example of the physics. He didn't, pull. He just secured and lowered his level. And
1 red neutral.
Good motion. Wrestling's pretty simple. Position, motion, penetration, lift. You execute the fundamentals, you're going to win most of the time.
Simple to say, hard to do.
Hard to do. But the things you need to do are easy. like show up every day, work your hardest. But if you do it, you're doing more than most do. There's another drive-through takedown. It's going to show us about 5 different executions.
2, 3, we're up.
That counts because he's below the hips. You got to work your way up, and he does.
Improve. 1 red neutral.
Again, hey, Ethan Riddle is having a nice year. Ethan Riddle is going to be one of those guys that's fighting for a place in the Big Ten, qualify for the Nationals, get in there and try to work his way onto the podium. And Ethan Riddle has wrestled tough. This is just how good Carson Kharchla is.
Kharchla's got 11 wins this year, 5 tech falls, 2 major decisions. One of those tech falls coming against Riddle, and he's trying to add another. 174 pounds.
A little pull down on that leg, a little chase around to the left, misdirection, pop the hips.
Nothing yet. 3.
And another takedown.
Everything Kharchla does with that head is just setting up his motion for his lowering the level and attack. Usually chases to his left. Really great to see a healthy Carson Kharchla.
I mean, he's just like a single leg takedown machine, isn't he?
Yeah, here's the finish here as he drives through. Riddle wasn't going anywhere because of the securing of the hips that Kharchla had. That's after he popped a little, popped the head and dropped in on the legs. Simple as that.
Riddle on top here.
An escape and a takedown would end it for Kharchla.
One of the smartest guys on this team. Big Ten Distinguished Scholar, academic All-Big Ten honoree.
Escape and a takedown.
Got himself in the top 25 of the country. Still over a minute of riding time here for Kharchla. Takedown would make it another tech fall.
Well, every shot Kharchla has taken, he's scored. It's kind of like I shoot, I score. It's kind of like watching Mendez. I shoot, I score. You shoot, I score. I mean, that's just.
1 minute and 3.
I'm excited here in a couple of weeks to see him match up with Levi Haynes too, and he continues to improve. Kharchla this Ohio State group will match up with the #1 team of the country in February, about a month, and of course on the Big Ten Network.
You can see why people, know that Ohio State will compete really well against Penn State. It's at Penn State. Don't know how many, I don't know the outcome. I just know that there's going to be a great fight.
Illegal.
Potentially dangerous. We'll send these wrestlers back to the center on their feet. You see Coach Tom Ryan say, here we go. He knows his wrestlers a takedown away from getting bonus points at 174 pounds.
Riddle feeling that chase to the left coming. A nice job of kicking back and not allowing Kharchla to get that last. But this time he drops to the right, covers the hips. Now if he can get that ankle loose, and Riddle said, I am not letting that loose, but he does get the 3. Secures the 3 and the tech fall.
Kharchla gets the job done, not just a decision, a tech fall. As time expires with the takedown, and more bonus points coming the way of Ohio's wrestler in the country. A top 5 battle in the Big Ten.
I love 184. Who doesn't? I mean, this is a stacked weight class. It's a weight class where most of the top guys are going to be around for a long time to entertain us. They're gladiators. Like you said, Mcenelly, a sophomore, and Fishback coming back after spending 40 years down at North Carolina State to his home state. And a team he grew up wanting to be a part of, and now he's a Buckeye. And the last time these guys met, it was overtime win for Mcenelly.
Went down to sudden victory, 4-1 winner for Mcenelly on November 15th, and that duel between Ohio State and Minnesota at the national duels, where Ohio State won it 29-6 that night. They have locked up a victory here tonight. Question is by how much? Right now leading that team category 25-3. Mcenelly won gold at the U20 World Championships back in August. He's a 4-time Minnesota State champion at Waconia High School.
You mentioned his world-class credentials. He will always be in the mix for USA from a world-class standpoint, from a senior freestyle, because his system, he's got an offensive system that's simple and so effective. I mean, he's singles to both sides. He's got a world-class, maybe the best knee pull I've ever seen, and he keeps an offense very simple, and that's what the elite do.
Offense.
And he finishes so fast. This is where Fishback, if he can not allow Mcenelly to finish quickly, then he can throw a little confusion in and get into a scramble. But if Mcenelly usually gets in on his single leg, the reason he's so successful is he does not spend any time, gets to his feet faster than anyone that I've seen lately.
Dylan Fishback, just a great story. The 2-time NCAA qualifier at North Carolina State in 2024 and 2025, was a runner-up at the 2025 ACC Championships over there for Ohio State. He's got a little bit of blood on him. But Fishback, he wanted to be a Buckeye. Had Ohio State stuff all over his room growing up there in Aurora, Ohio, where he was a 2-time Ohio State champion. And obviously with Rocco Welsh going to Penn State, it had an opening at 184. Dylan Fishback went into the transfer portal and got his wish to be a Buckeye as he grew up a fan of Ohio State, wrestling now in that singlet, trying to get a top 5 victory here tonight on the road to the Big Ten.
Seconds in the period.
It was who got the takedown first that won the match last time these two matched up. Now Fishback had the leg of Mcenelly. He had it up in the air but could not finish. It looked like he was going to win that match, but instead Mcenelly got the victory. Who can finish the takedown in this one tonight?
Your choice, top bottom, neutral or fur. Green's going bottom.
Fishback will go down to start this second period.
Face me.
Yeah, that had to sting when Rocco Welsh moved over to Penn State, and it's always stings when you lose an athlete, and then to have a guy like Dylan Fishback be able to step in. And there is no doubt in Dylan Fishback's mind that he belongs.
Neutral. We're neutral.
And it's not the top 4, but the top 5. He's ranked 5th. Mcenelly's 4th. You got Sinclair from Missouri. You got Ferrari from Iowa.
On the leg. Good counter coming out of Mcenelly. Yeah, the reports are that Ferrari is not wrestling tonight at this weight class for Iowa in the Nebraska duel. That's going to be an opening maybe for Silas Allred.
Well, is that exciting? I just can't wait to, if we're done here, I'll slip right in, start watching that meet.
That's great. How do you think that? I mean, it's going to come down to the very end. Everything tells us right now. How do you think that sways?
Yeah, I think there you go. It comes down to the very end, and there's some matches that are toss-ups that I think that maybe they lean one way or the other, but starting at 125, I think that favors Iowa coming out of the gate.
working the score.
And then you go into 133, and there is a big-time match between Ayala and Van D. Ayala has not lost to Van D, but Van D's he's a brawler. He's got a tank. He's going to come after you. Ayala, I would not call Ayala being in a funk. He's wrestled so many good wrestlers. He's 4-5 right now, but he's got not only he's got a heart of a competitor, leader on the team, and so big match for both young men there. And so see how it starts, because that'll have a lot to do with how it ends.
They're going to start at 125 in that duel coming up. All part of our triple header here tonight. We're in the middle of it right now. Ohio State and Minnesota, two teams in the top 7 in the country. Ohio State, the number 2 team of the country, and wrestling like it right now. Had a real strong start, 5 straight wins. The lone win for Minnesota in this duel coming at 165.
And what we're looking at right here is a very, clear opportunity to be a semifinal in the NCAAs. That's why, I mean, the margin is so close here. 1-0, Fishback leads with his escape. Mcenelly will probably match that here pretty soon.
Same way.
And this is just, they're going to wrestle perhaps in the Big Ten, perhaps at the NCAAs, and they're going to be these kind of matches.
I mean, when you look at it, these two, number 5, number 4 in the country, they work towards the edge of the mat, and they'll go back to the center. But 11 wins for Mcenelly, 8 of those by bonus points, 12 wins for Fishback, 8 of those by bonus points, 6 ranked wins for Mcenelly, 5 ranked wins for Fishback. I mean, every way you slice it so far, they've had very similar seasons. It was a sudden victory winner for Mcenelly. That's why he's number 4. Fishback's number 5 right now, but Mcenelly's trying to get up and out. He does to his feet.
Yeah, everybody's beat everybody. Rocco Welsh and Sinclair and Ferrari and Mcenelly have all been beat by each other.
Keep the hands clean.
Rocco Welsh has not been beat. He's undefeated. Got a few more of these to wrestle. That's a very impressive win for him against Ferrari, but my mistake there. Of course, Rocco Welsh on top, number 1, undefeated in the Penn State uniform.
All right, so the final minute of regulation at 184. A stall warning coming against Fishback, the first of the match.
Ben Warren Green.
Mcenelly trying to be the first to get a takedown. Can he finish? No, stalemate to the feet.
No. Hey, switch it up.
Okay, now they're switching the warning to red. Mcenelly was the one, the official initially
The stall call was on red.
gave it to green, but he corrects the call. Mcenelly is the guilty party of the stall warning. Stall calls equal 1 point. Mcenelly has been warned, Fishback not.
Fishback in on the single leg, and he had that opportunity. Great hip down by Mcenelly. Did not let Fishback. No, duck under. Good square up by Mcenelly.
And these wrestlers, last time they faced off, it went on to overtime. And here this time, we have more time put on the clock.
Yeah, look at this action. There's a lot of guts. In on that single leg, squared up, hips down by Mcenelly. A little peek out duck. Watch this. I like the effort. Well, we didn't quite see it there, but great action by these two wrestlers. We're in sudden victory. Any score. So if Mcenelly got hit for stalling, which he's not going to do, but if he did, and that would be 1, and that would be the match. First score wins here in sudden victory in these 2 minutes.
Mcenelly's been warned. Fishback has not. And on the left, Mcenelly trying to finish.
He usually always does. Anticipates the roll through and gets the 3 for the win.
Mcenelly in sudden victory again gets the job done.
Yeah, that was his first successful shot in on the leg, and when he gets in, he finishes, and he got the leg up.
15 wins already on the season. Gavin Nelson is the number 30 ranking of the country on the other side. Nelson is 6-8 the season right now.
Nelson's tough. This is going to be a good match. Shumate in on just the way Ethan Burden is in at 165. They have not decided who's going to wrestle at 197, Geog or Shumate. They'll both get the opportunity this weekend. Geog will go Sunday. Shumate won the Midlands, gets the opportunity to show what he can do. Part of that great recruiting class from 22 with Mendez, Feldman, and Bazakis.
You talk about him winning the Midlands. He did so, and he did so in a big way. 4 of those matches, of those 5 matches, were bonus points. I mean, he just was relentless, and that's what got him back in the mix here. 197 got him back in the lineup.
Wrestle there.
Coach Ryan said, we need you to be the guy in March. Continue to improve as the season goes along. He has done that. And he's getting an opportunity here for Ohio State, who has secured another victory here tonight. So we're in the final 2 matches at 197 right now.
As Coach Eggum said on the interview there, they lost the first match, and it's one they didn't expect to lose, okay? And they were expected to win. Otherwise, it's pretty much gone according to, who was the favorite.
Yeah. It was 29-6 Ohio State, the winner last time these 2 matched up. See, 25-6 right now. Now, Seth Shumate did beat Gavin Nelson in the national duels when they faced off. That was a 3-2 decision. So the lone takedown by Shumate was the difference.
Action.
And a real good one that time. We anticipate again. Shumate, 8th place finish of the Big Ten Championships last year, and Coach Eggum hoping Gavin Nelson, one of his young redshirt sophomores, can get his 2nd ranked win of the season. 3-time Minnesota State champion at Mcenelly High School for Gavin Nelson.
Man, when you see 2 wrestlers like we just did, Fishback, Mcenelly, it comes down to the final 1%. You know, there's a lot of people that can go the 99%, but that final 1% is what Mcenelly has been able to beat Fishback 2 matches in a row. He was able to get in on that, and he got to his feet real fast, finished, and it's that 1% of the takedown or any position, but that's the meta, man. You got to win the small finishing battles, and that's what Mcenelly did for another overtime win over Fishback.
No score between Shumate and Nelson. Nelson, a member of that U23 World Team. He's battled injuries throughout this season. He'll go down to start this 2nd period. You're from Maturi Pavilion in Minneapolis with Tim Johnson, Zach Mackey with you tonight. It is part 2 of our 3-part Friday Night Wrestling triple header. We've got a great battle going on in Lincoln, Nebraska coming up.
Neutral.
The wrestling fraternity, there's nothing like Friday night. I mean, in January and February, they love these nights. I've got friends that are, texting me and where they're at, and, knocked off early today so they could get settled in and watch the pregame show and 3 Big Ten dual meets. It's a pretty cool opportunity for our fraternity.
Yeah, no one does it like the Big Ten Network. We'll have another triple header next Friday as well. Just continue with more Friday Night Wrestling throughout this season with We've been talking about it. 6 teams in the top 10 of the country. There is just a plethora of teams. These two both in the top 7 of the country. Here's Nelson. Trying to find the first takedown. A 197-pound bout.
Minnesota fans there, you know, it's been kind of a tough night. They had a couple of good wins. It's not like they are unfamiliar with these kind of lineups up and down the lineup. You know, Jay Robinson is in the stands tonight watching. Of course, he got Minnesota to be one of the 3 national titles as a team, 5 Big Ten championships over the years. And so they know what it's like to, from top to bottom, to have a team that dominates. So it's not a lot of fun, but they recognize the excellence. So they're a team that, I mean, they're a fan base that respects great wrestling. They're looking at it tonight. They know they have a very good team. You talked about it, the Big Ten. You know, you're in the top 5 in the Big Ten, and you're going to be, you know, right up there when it comes to the NCAAs, pushing for trophies. Top 4 teams get trophies, and Minnesota has got a nice team. It's just that this is an exceptional year of power and balance for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Which Tom Ryan said, one of the best teams I have ever had. And that's coming from a coach who won the 2015 National Championship as a team. Both these 2 programs having won national championships. We go to the 3rd, all tied up. Nelson was up out of there in a hurry. So was Shumate. So just like the last time these 2 wrestlers matched up, the first takedown looks like it's going to be the difference in this one.
Well, you know, Gavin Nelson is ranked, but I would say that he is not the favorite tonight. Seth Shumate has not been in the lineup enough to be ranked, and yet he's got himself in the match here. So both these guys in it, you know, now you got to be ice cold in his last minute. Make it count. Execute when you're tired. It's about effort and attitude and aggressiveness right now.
He's an overtime winner for Minnesota at 184. Will we end it in regulation here at 197, or will we see a sudden victory? Oh, Nelson got hit in the mouth. Shumate went down, and when he came back up, got the chin of Nelson that time.
That was good.
Nothing malicious here, just came up with it.
Ooh.
Knocked him good.
That's smarts.
Nelson, tough guy though, he's right back to it. Final 30 seconds. State bench here from Minneapolis.
Feldman, one of those guys, came out of that recruiting class, the #1 guy, and you know, Tom talks about how much he's overcome adversity. Neck injury that maybe thought he would never wrestle again. Hand injury last year. Low single right there. I really like that because you score early here against Hopkey and you make a difference, because that could have been a 0-0, 1-1, because Hopkey is tough and hard to score on. Feldman comes right out and shows you how athletic and versatile he is. And I think he's right up there at the top. Contend for a title this year.
You know, Feldman was, last time it was a takedown that was the difference. It was a 4-2 battle for these guys in November. Quickly, Feldman getting that takedown and leaving no mistake here early on in the first. Take a look so far. You can see it was a strong start for Ohio State. Minnesota winning these last couple of matches, 3 of the last 4.
Several of the Buckeyes came out and got really fast scores. 33, 41, 49, 57. We just saw it right here. I mean, inside 5-10 seconds, they're on the hunt.
Feldman, the All-American back in 2024, qualified for the NCAA championship the last 2 seasons.
Got a victory over Ferrari.
That will be a question. Will A.J. Ferrari wrestle tonight? Big question in the lineup between Nebraska and Iowa. That's coming up. Obviously, this duel is going to be really close coming up next. Nebraska and Iowa. And everyone's kind of wondering at heavyweight who will get the go. Ben Keeter for Iowa, but will it be A.J. Ferrari or not?
Where's the a really highly thought of freshman. We've already tonight seen a guy that's been waiting his turn, dealing with some injuries, but backing up 2 studs at 125. Kilkeary doing the job for the Buckeyes tonight at 125. Got his turn, next man up, big win.
30 seconds.
Feldman's been able to ride throughout since that takedown, given the first much of this first period after an early takedown in the first 30 seconds of this match. Coach Tom Ryan talked about, I mean, this is a guy in Feldman, he wants to be a Navy SEAL, and he carries himself that way. Gets the most out of himself, gets the most out of every single day. He's a worker.
No downside to the kind of start that Feldman just had. Worked ahead, dropped in on the ankle, drove through. When I say no downside, he didn't put himself in a position where Hupke could come on top of him. And at heavyweight, I don't care how big you are, the other guy's big too. And when they get on top of you and you're parallel, you're in you've got a problem. But Feldman there did a really nice job of working the head, getting that low single, then putting Hupke on his butt so that he wasn't able to come down underneath and on top of him.
Hupke had 7 straight victories for the month of December into early January. He most recently, though, did lose in a tight one, 2-1 to A.J. Ferrari last week.
He's really good.
So kind of the question is, how does he respond? How's it go? And he's got another one against Nick Feldman here today. That is a top 5 battle.
Yeah, and he was injured last year, didn't get a chance to develop as a freshman. He is going to be a really good Minnesota heavyweight. Look at this. Cut the corner here. He wants to beat the shoulder. Oh, Feldman comes across and drives through and covers the hips and is going to get 3.
You saw the strength of Feldman to move that shoulder back around and move him in front of him.
Yeah, and again, it was angles. It was, you know, he has to be strong, but he has to feel and sense his body, know the angle, and did a really nice job of covering those hips.
And this is where Feldman's been very tough for Hopke at the top position.
Warning green.
And a warning coming.
Sorry, red.
Yeah, red. Okay, we're getting switched around to Coy Hopke, the bottom guy.
And, you know, and now a warning green.
Warning red and
So
a warning
both
green.
have been.
Okay, so at first he was saying you're not doing enough underneath. And what he's talking about Feldman is you got to get off being parallel. You know, what you're supposed to do on top is try to pin the guy. And it's pretty hard when you're parallel.
Turn into the right. Bottom hand stack. Culver, you're on. Turn into him. Boy, turn into your right side. Come up. Turn up. Turn into it.
You hear Coach Hagan saying, turn in, Hopke, turn into your right side and stand up. I think the issue is, yeah, there you go. I mean, it's how do you get to your feet and give yourself a chance?
1, 2.
Nice job there, Feldman, bringing him back down, keeping control.
He's been so tough in his top position. He's already locked up riding time as we head to the third.
And earlier, drops down with a head outside single. Now, He's going to continue working the hips over, casting over. Looks like Hopke's going to have advantage here. Look at that left arm come through. Now, it's a matter of how he moved his feet and then drives through with his head and shoulder. Covers the butt and gets the 3 points. Just never stopped wrestling. That's what Feldman never stopped wrestling, and that's the key there.
Feldman's got 6 tech falls and 1 pin for bonus points. He's eyeing right now with riding time already secured. He's got a major decision. If Hopke can't get out, he elects to ride him for the entirety of this third period.
Feldman's just one of those guys. The reason he's able to give this effort in the third period is because he gives it every day. I said, wrestling's hard, but the things you have to do to get better are easy. Like, don't miss practice, show up early, focus, find a good partner, listen to your coaches, eat right. They're easy, but they're hard.
They're hard.
But the formula's right there, and Feldman is one of those guys, as Coach Ryan says, better person than he is a wrestler. And we see he's pretty good at wrestling.
No kidding.
He wants to be a Navy SEAL, like you said. And so when you think about, what you're doing now determines what you're going to have an opportunity to do down the road. That's why wrestling's so important. America needs wrestling.
Action in this center.
Guts, gumption, the grit that it takes to grind out a good 7-minute match. Same stuff that it takes to grind out a good, long, productive life.
Down to the center, wrestlers both to their feet. 7-1 the score, but Feldman does have riding time secured. So right now, Hopke trying to keep bonus points out of it here.
You let him ride. Imagine how this match would be without 4 minutes of riding.
See, nice job there.
In the back.
And that's 1 point.
And so Hopke's going to get one there.
I like the effort by Coy Hopke. Like I said, on that frame, what he's going to look like next year with a full year of wrestling and training under his belt.
His takedown, if he can finish, would give him a major decision.
No control.
Look at that hip action.
He says no.
And look at that. Oh, big.
Says yes.
Never stop wrestling. Nick Feldman's middle name tonight. Never stop wrestling. Both wrestlers, good effort.
A major decision, the first one of the season, coming for the third-ranked wrestler in the country, Nick Feldman. It's a high five from Tom Ryan and his third time.
But it's the right back. Kharchla, she does this so often.